Now, some folks in Murray County are cleaning up in the aftermath of two tornadoes. The twisters left damage across the area. Our Steve Mailing talked to residents about their experience during the storm.
Off Sunnyside Drive in Columbia, it sounds like these that neighbors are getting used to for the time being.
The only things that were damaged for us are these things out here that are easily replaceable and that our family is okay. That's, of course, the first thing we're grateful for.
A confirmed EF1 tornado with 100-mile-per-hour winds touched down in Andrew Phillips' neighborhood, turning the streets into a firewood pile. While his neighbors escaped mostly unscathed, the countryside just miles away was a different story.
It could have been a lot worse, so I'm thankful it was, as calm as it was.
The second tornado in Murray County, a confirmed EF2, found its way to Hampshire, knotting trees on South Cross Bridges Road and gashing homes in its path on Rippey Lake Road.
Let's give you some street names. If you live near Kennan, Zion, Ashwood, Poplar Top.
And I heard them say, if you're like in the area of Ashwood or anything like South Cross Bridges, and I thought, oh, that's where we're at.
Karen Schubart says the winds from the storm wedged open her front door, shooting rain into her home. While the cleanup process throughout Murray County may take time, people are glad no one was seriously hurt. And for the most part, homes are okay.
Seeing people come together and of seeing the blessing of a neighborhood like this street and the neighborhoods nearby, that's been a real blessing during times like this.
When names were actually given of roads, that's really where it set home and made me get into the closet.
Neighbors say they're now looking to Wednesday and hoping they can catch a break before severe weather once again changes their landscape. For WSMV4, I'm Steve Mailing.
An EF0 tornado also touched down in Williamson County. Officials say along Highway 100 in Fairview is the worst of the damage. Several trees toppled over due to the high winds. The roof blew off a barn and caused branches to block roadways. City officials say there haven't been any reports of injuries. This storm did leave many without power for a few hours. One man describes the moment his family hunkered down.
The rain went sideways, and you could hear the noise on the roof, everything hitting it, and then you could feel some pressure in your head, ears and stuff, so I knew it was a tornado.
Williamson County Emergency Management Agency is encouraging neighbors to fill out a survey. This will help determine if they may be eligible for disaster aid. Strong winds up to 85 miles per hour may have caused this fire on an MTEC substation power pole in Fairview. It happened after a tree fell on it on Pinewood Road. Remember to stay away from power lines like this. Call in an emergency official if you have to. A family's roof and barn were destroyed by a confirmed EF1 tornado in Humphreys County. This is in McEwen. They say neighbors are calling them after finding items of theirs in their yard up to a mile away. The family's working to put up a tarp and cover the hole in the wall where their glass door once was. They said last night they all were standing together in the center bathroom as the storm passed. They didn't know until the sun came up the damage they were dealing with.
A lot of wind, rain. It was pretty noisy. It was loud. We live right across the creek over here, and we kind of seen the dark cloud come through. And once it done that, the power went out, and we went down in the basement.
We also talked with the emergency shelter at the McEwen Church of Christ. They said they had at least 20 people there to wait out the storms just last night. And tonight, Rutherford County is dealing with flooded roads. And as people tell our Courtney Allen, they're now preparing for more severe weather headed this way.
On the other side of this flooded road in Reedyville is where Steve Jeffson lives.
You have to find a different route, try to get into town.
He says the area is prone to flooding.
Well, of course, there's been a lot of rain, but this is not just the rain that we got last night, but it's the previous rain. We had a storm a week ago with a lot of rain.
But Jeffson's biggest concern is tornadoes.
It's a week ago when this came through, actually that tornado was spotted on Bradyville Pike, which is just a couple miles to the south of us.
With more severe weather expected this week, Jeffson is staying prepared.
Emergency water, make sure you got a to-go bag if you got to bug out real quick.
Hoping flooded roads like this one are the most of their problems.
There's a lot of high wind activity out here. Just be careful of that too.
Courtney Allen, WSMV4.
The National Weather Service confirmed at least 3 tornadoes moved across Kentucky yesterday. The National Weather Service says an EF1 tornado tore through Louisville's Fairdale neighborhood. The storm brought 90-mile-per-hour winds, bringing down trees and sending sheds flying in the area. One woman says a massive tree fell in her backyard. Luckily, she says her house avoided the majority of the damage.
I don't know what to do with all this. I called, made a claim on my insurance company. They told me 2 to 3 days, but I'm still thinking, you know, only thing that's wrong with my house is some gutter and roofing is gone. So that's just where I'm at with it. Like, I'm glad it's not my house.
Thankfully, there were no deaths or injuries reported.
And the good news is we have a little calm before the next round of storms moves in. Today was a part of that calm time. Right now, we look outside and our sky has started to clear. Temperatures have dropped a bit more into the mid-40s with that north wind. By tomorrow morning, we are looking at a cool start, but not cold at 42 degrees. Now, in some of the outlying areas, it could be so chilly you could see a bit of frost developing, so keep that in mind. But by 8 o'clock, we'll have more sunshine and 44. But to let you know, change is just around the corner. We're going to be tracking this next front. So a dry Tuesday, but here comes the front on Wednesday late, and it does stall out north of us. That is going to be the mechanism that's going to produce these showers and thunderstorms across the mid-state. I've got a close-up view of what you can expect and that timeline with our first alert forecast just ahead.
Lisa, thank you. The best way to be weather alert is to download our WSMV4 weather app. You're going to receive updates as the storms approach your location. Also, if you have any photos or videos of the storms or any damage, be safe out there and you can submit them in the app. You may see them in our newscasts.